Hi, I'm Jackson Cornwell, and this is the worst year of my life. I would like to begin by taking a moment of silence for my co-host and roommate, Reese Carter. She's not dead, but she is in the Midwest, so she might as well be. Reese is away for work this week in Missouri, which is allegedly a real state. And so I'm going to be doing the podcast by myself, by my lonesome. I think in the future, if one of us can't be here for the pod, I would like to bring in like a guest co-host. We've already talked about having guests on, and we definitely will do that because I think that would be fun. But the reason I didn't today was because one, like it was too short notice to ask someone to like make the trek to Jersey City. And also like it's only our 6th episode. I feel like at this point we're still trying to, build an audience and introduce ourselves. And I just don't think now is the time to bring a new character into the mix. So eventually we will have guests on the podcast. And then if one of us can't be here, we'll also have like a guest co-host, which will be fun. But for this week, it's just going to be me. And this will be interesting. I'm interested to see how it goes. I think I'm going to be fine. I think I'll be able to just like talk and just yap. I mean, I love to talk. I talk to myself all the time. Honestly, I do. Am I talking to myself or am I talking to the voices? I think I'm just talking to myself. I don't think it's any voices besides my own. For now, anyway, I'm still young. Who knows? I do like to like have conversations with myself. Not conversations. It's more like a stream of consciousness. And maybe that's what this is going to be. It's just a stream of consciousness. And I hope that it's entertaining. I think it will be. So, and if it's not, I probably won't upload it. So if you're watching this, yeah, it probably is entertaining. So keep watching, tune in. But I really don't want to, I also thought well, Reese isn't going to be here. Maybe we'll just take a week off. But I'm like, no, we got to be consistent about this. We've got to do it every week because we just have to. You have to commit to things. And we're committed to this. It's been a lot of fun. I think we're both really enjoying doing the podcast. I know I am. I think Reese is too. I'm sure she is. I just don't want to speak for her while she's not here. It's a lot of fun. And that's why we started this, because we thought it would be fun, and it has been. So we're going to keep it up. Thank you to the people who have been tuning in. I mean, I know, our 16 YouTube subscribers, it's small but mighty number. But I know a lot of people do tune in every week because they come and talk to me about it. And that's really nice. That makes me feel good. That makes both of us feel good. Earlier this week, Reese and I were both at a function, an event that was like a bunch of people from our college were there. It was, I can just say what it was. It was the senior showcase for this year's senior class in our program. And we wanted to go and watch it. They were in New York, of course, doing it. So we wanted to go watch and support because we have friends in that class. And it was fun. And if you're watching, y'all killed it. They were really great. But obviously there were a lot of people who we knew from college there. And a lot of people were coming up to us and telling us oh my God, I love the pod. I've been watching, blah, blah, blah. And let me just say, some people I believe them because they follow our social media and they engage with our content. So I believe them. And then some people I'm like, do you watch the pod? Some people were like, oh my God, I always see your clips on TikTok. And I'm like, well, that's funny because I've never seen you like one of the clips on TikTok. And I certainly haven't seen you follow our account on TikTok. So what is the truth? What's the real tea? But for those of you who do really watch and do support, I appreciate it. I really do. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm glad that people find it entertaining because the reason we started this is because I've always known about me and Reese that we're entertaining as fuck and that our conversations are entertaining. And I'm glad that that is resonating with people. I mean, we've had a learning curve. We're still figuring it out as we go. We've definitely had some episodes that have been better than others, but it's been fun. It's been good. It is finally springtime, or at least we're getting a teaser of springtime. It's March 12th, I think, March 11th. It's March 11th. And it has been really nice this week. It's been above 70. It's been sunny. We've been going out in t-shirts and shorts. I'm wearing shorts. You can see my underwear. Oh God, that was so embarrassing. Every spring, I'm always just seasonal depression really is real because suddenly it's 70 degrees and sunny and I don't want to kill myself anymore. It's just great. And look, I'm a I'm a cold weather girl. Like I'm a fall and winter girl. I've always said I think fall is probably my favorite, but I always used to say like winter was my favorite season, and I do love winter. But this winter was, and I'm hesitant to say was because I have a feeling it's only March. I have a feeling that Mother Nature has a little bit more in store for us. But this winter was terrible. Like the weather was terrible. I mean, like it's one of the worst winters I've ever seen. I mean, it's my first winter in New York, but I grew up in the Midwest in Ohio. Like I'm used to bad winters, but this winter was exceptionally bad. And I am ready for a new season. I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. And in the wise words of Caroline Polachek, spring is coming, spring is coming, with a strawberry in the mouth. I actually think that song's a cover. I don't think she wrote that song, but whatever, hers is the best. So, yeah, I'm loving that it's springtime. Younger than springtime are you? I think there's going to be a lot of singing in this episode. Oops. But yeah, no, I'm glad it's nice out. It's nice to be outside and just like, I don't know. It's nice. I'm a little nervous for summer in New York. I mean, we'll be fine, I think, in Jersey City, but I know that Manhattan summer is like another beast. And like last year we moved here in August, so we were here at like the tail end of it, and we definitely had some hot days. But I am intrigued and a little nervous to see what summer has in store. But right now I want to live in the moment. I'm so excited for spring. I'm so happy it's springtime. I'm ready for all of it. I'm ready for the nice weather and the flowers and the having my window open, and it's not open right now, but you can probably still hear anyway because our street is loud as fuck. There's always shit happening on this street. And like not in an exciting way either. It's like when I say there's always shit happening, I mean like there's always like an ambulance going by or a fire truck or people blasting music in their car radios or yelling at each other right outside of my window. Like that happens a lot on this street. And it's weird because otherwise it's we live in kind of like a quaintish, quietish neighborhood, but like there's just moments where it's really loud and it's annoying. But honestly, I like the noise. I find it comforting. I mean, you know, sometimes it's annoying when it's 2 a.m. and people are screaming at each other on the sidewalk. But in general, I find noise comforting. I mean, growing up, I grew up in a small town, like in the country, but our neighborhood was a cul-de-sac. So it's not like we were isolated or anything, but we were near the train tracks. And so you would always hear train whistles throughout the day and in the middle of the night. And I honestly find it very comforting. I mean, to this day, I find the sound of train whistles very comforting because I grew up hearing them outside my window, and I think I like noise. I don't think I could do. I mean, I've always known that I'm like a city person. Like even though I grew up in a small town, as a kid, I was always like, I'm gonna live in a city. Like I can't do the small town thing. But what I really can't do is the middle of nowhere country thing. Like I would be scared to death. I know so many people, friends, family, who live in the middle of nowhere, and they have beautiful, gorgeous homes and lots of acreage. And their nearest neighbor is like 2 miles away. And that to me is fucking terrifying because you know what? That's where the killer gets you. The killer doesn't get you in Jersey City. The killer doesn't get you in Manhattan. The killer gets you in the middle of nowhere when you have a half a mile long driveway that swirls up and no cars can see your house from the street and you're the only person there. And that's when the killer gets you. You know, I feel very safe in a densely populated area. But what's funny is there are a lot of people who are the exact opposite. Like a lot of people who I know from my hometown, who I grew up with or whatever, like they would feel so unsafe in New York City. And like when I told people I was moving, because I mean, obviously I lived in Pittsburgh for college, and Pittsburgh is a city, but it's like a medium, smaller sized city. We live downtown, so it was kind of like big city fantasy, but like it's a smaller city. So, you know, no one worried about me there, but like when I was home this summer before moving here, or last summer, I mean, a lot of people, I would be like, oh, I'm moving to New York. And the immediate reaction was, why would you do that? One person was like, oh my God, your poor mother. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I feel infinitely safer in New York City and I'm just going to say New York. I live in New York City. I don't care that I live in Jersey City. I live in New York. I don't care. I'm just going to say New York. I feel infinitely safer in New York City than I do walking around my like conservative Ohio hometown. You know, like I feel so much safer walking late at night here than I would in my little village square in Ohio, you know? But it's funny, there are a lot of people who feel the exact opposite. And I mean, let's just call it what it is. They feel that way because they're racist most of the time. And they associate cities with people of color, and they associate that with feeling unsafe. That's what it is, really. So I'm just gonna call it out. In my opinion, I feel infinitely safer here than I would in my hometown. I mean, I guess, you know, there are terrorist attacks and stuff in big cities, but and higher, there are higher crime rates, but that's just because there's more people, you know, like that's what I think people really don't get. Like the crime, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course there's more crime because there's more people. Like, yeah, when you live in a village with 200 people, obviously there's not as much crime. I will say small towns still have crime. They have murders and assaults. They just go unsolved and often unreported. Oh, it's a real thing. So yeah, I just always think it's fascinating when people are so scared of cities. Just get out of your bubble. I mean, I don't know. And I guess I'm very privileged that growing up, you know, we were able to afford to go to cities to visit and stuff. Like my mom brought me and my sister to New York pretty often as kids, and we visited other big cities and stuff too. But there are a lot of people who never leave their like immediate area, their county or their state or whatever, because they can't afford to, or maybe they don't want to, whatever it is. So I'm lucky and I'm privileged that I got to do that as a kid, and so I was never afraid of cities. But it's real. There are a lot of people who are really afraid of big cities and afraid of New York, and for the life of me, I don't understand it. But okay, sure. I started a new job last week, a new surfing job at a restaurant in Jersey City, and it's good. It's great. I mean, you know, as far as surfing jobs go, I really like it so far. And I'm coming off of a different surfing job that was, how you say, the fool. And I kind of want to talk about it because this was the worst job I've ever had. And I didn't talk about it before because I was employed by them, and I was like, I don't want to somehow get in trouble. But I'm no longer employed by them. Because I have a new job, and so I am going to talk some shit. It's honestly a really nice restaurant. It's the ambiance is wonderful. The food is really good. It's on the waterfront, so there's this gorgeous view of the Manhattan skyline. It's a nice restaurant, and I really wanted to like it there because it seemed like a nice place. But so I applied for it on Indeed, and I should have heeded the warning of the Indeed reviews. Because on Indeed, employees can go and review the employer. And on this place's Indeed page, there were an overwhelming amount of negative reviews. Actually, I think there was one positive review, and I have a feeling that that was from, I think that the management may have written that review for themselves, because every other review was terrible, and from working there, I can confirm that it is terrible. But I read these reviews, these glaringly terrible reviews. And I I hesitated to go interview there, but then I was like, well, because the reviews were like, they were saying like, oh, the management's shitty and this and that. And the thing is that, you know, every restaurant job, every customer service job, food service job, they're all kind of terrible. You know, even like this place I like now, like, yeah, it kind of sucks because it's a restaurant. Like they're not pleasant, fun jobs to work. I mean, working in a restaurant, you know, you normally make good money, you make tips, and yeah, there's some flexibility, and those are the appeals. But no one is working in a restaurant because it's like so pleasant and wonderful to work in. Like they're always stressful jobs. There's usually some drama with the management, and so I read these reviews and I was kind of like, they're probably being dramatic. Like I've worked in restaurants, I know how they are. It's going to be fine. They were not being dramatic. I should have heeded their warning. This place was the fool. It just was. So first of all, the management was terrible. The kind of management that just like doesn't help with anything. Like you're drowning in tables and it's like stressful, and they're back in the office like, I don't know, kikiing, having a good time, not helping anyone on the floor. And then when they do come on the floor, they would just like yell at you and berate you. I got yelled at in front of customers so many times. And here's the thing. I'm good. I'm a good employee. I'm good at my job. I was just like new. Like I worked there for 2 months before I got this new job. So I was new, and like within the first couple of weeks, my first couple of shifts, I was being yelled at all the time for messing up like very little minute things that took like a couple seconds to fix. Just no grace was given, and just it was that all the time. And it wasn't just me. Everyone who worked there dealt with this one manager in particular. He would come out and just yell at people in front of their tables. And one time I had a table, like he came out and yelled at me, and he walked away, and this table was like, "Are you okay? Like that guy's an asshole." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like, first of all, it's embarrassing, and it's also just like it makes you stressed. It makes the whole thing. It makes everything terrible. This place couldn't keep employees for more than like a couple months. Like they were constantly hiring new people, which is always a red flag because people were quitting because it's terrible there. So anyway, I would be willing to overlook a lot of bullshit from a restaurant job if I was making good money. Because like I said, when you work in restaurants, typically you make decent money. I mean, that's why a lot of artists do it. I mean, also, because the flexibility, and it's part-time work normally. So, but you normally make decent money, which, okay, I will overlook some bullshit from my management if the money's okay. I mean, I will not take abuse from a manager ever. My line, my go-to, when someone wants to treat me like that, I say, I will not be spoken to that way, and I walk away. That's it, because there's nothing more to say about it. I won't be spoken to that way. I just won't be. But then I guess they speak to me that way anyway, so what does that really accomplish? But that's my line. That's what I like to say. And I feel very puss when I say it. I feel very woman in charge when I say that. I will not be spoken to that way. 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 And when I say that, I feel so powerful. I feel so in my feminine and... but anyway, I would be willing to overlook a lot of bullshit if I was making money. However, I was not making money at this job because they had... Well, first of all, business was bad. Business was slow. Which I honestly didn't really understand why, because it is a nice restaurant. As much as I hated working there, I think I would like being there as a customer. The food was good. It's nice. You have a beautiful view. But the other reason I was not making money and no one was making money is because they had a tip pool. So the servers had to pool all their tips together, which, first of all, is bullshit always, because when someone gives me a tip, they want me to have it. They gave it to me. When I'm at a restaurant and I tip my server, I mean, I always tip your servers. Always. Whether the service is bad or not, tip them. If it's bad service, you can give them a little less. But always tip your servers because they fucking rely on that to live. Fuck people who don't tip. Fuck that. But... when I'm tipping a server, when you go to a restaurant and you tip your server, it's because they did a good job and you want to reward them for that. It's for them. It's to thank them for their customer service and whatever. But so I'm against the tip pool in general, because when someone tips you, they don't want that money to be split between you and your coworkers who maybe they're slacking off, maybe they're the people. No shade to my coworkers there. I mean, I actually liked the people I worked with. The other servers were very, very nice, and we were all in the same boat. But so a tip pool is bad enough. And then this tip pool was even worse, because the way they had it was the servers who had been there longer, who had more seniority, got a bigger cut of the tip pool. They got a higher percentage of the tips. So those of us who were new, we were making jack shit. I mean, I was averaging there like $17 an hour, which is basically minimum wage. Here, it's like $1 more than minimum wage. But I was making a lot more than that. I was getting a lot of tips. Like I remember the one week, because I wanted to keep track of it. The one week I made like $1,500 in tips, and on my paycheck, guess how much of that I saw? $400. $400, because they're splitting it, and the people who've been there longer get a bigger cut of my tips that people gave me. So that shit pissed me off. And they wanted us to turn in our cash tips, which I normally kept most of my cash tips, because fuck you, I'm not doing that. And I'm okay saying that because I no longer work for them. Anyway, this was the worst job I ever had. It was terrible. And now I no longer work for them, thank God. And I did go on the Indeed and I wrote a scathing review for that. Should I read the review? No. Should I? No. maybe someday. Because fuck that place. Fuck that place. This was my closing line from my review. I'll do the closing line. If you have any self-respect, do not work for local eatery and bar. That was my final line. I was really proud of that one. So, and I will repeat that here. If you are a Jersey citizen or a New York citizen and you are considering working at local eatery and bar in Jersey City, if you have any self-respect, don't do it. It's the worst job I've ever had in my life. And I've had quite a few jobs. I've worked in customer service, food service since I was 15 years old, and this was the worst. But my new job in comparison so far is like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. Like, it's like people here don't hate working here and they get to keep their own tips and everyone's nice and there are actually customers. Like, I kind of feel like I hit the lottery, and I mean, it's just a normal restaurant job, but I like it so much better. And I'm just so glad to be done with that place. And I know I'm not going to get in trouble for talking shit on them because I no longer work for them. So how could I get in trouble, right? I won't get in trouble for that. I'm not going to get in any sort of... I'm leaving it's no different than leaving a review on Indeed, which I did, except for this one isn't anonymous. My face is attached to it and my name. So to the management of local eatery and bar in Jersey City, I would just say to you, your restaurant is the fool. Guys, this is very exciting. I want to introduce you to my son, my cat, Basil, short for Basilton. He is 3 years old. He's gonna be 4. He's gonna be 4 this summer. My God, they grow up so fast. He's my big fat baby. Hey, look at the camera. Show them how cute you are. This cat, we have like an emotional, like psychic, spiritual connection. Like sometimes I look at him and I'm like, I understand what you're saying. Like sometimes we have conversations. Am I hearing voices? No, I'm not. We're just really in tune with each other. I love this cat. I would die for this cat. I really would. I look at him and I am like, I feel like I'm his mother. I feel like he came out of me. I feel like I gave birth to him. And that's because I did give birth to him. So Basil look how fat he is. I'm not saying that to shame him or shame you, Basil. It's just like, it's an observation. I mean, he's so cute though. So I rescued Basil. It'll be 4 years ago this summer. I was home for the summer and he was at my aunt found this little tiny kitten outside of her house. Like he was tiny. Like he was so tiny and so sickly when she found him. And so she called my family because we had cats and she didn't. She has like 5 dogs. And so, or she did at the time, actually. She doesn't have 5 dogs anymore because a couple of them died. Rest in peace. But she had like 5 dogs. And so she was like, I can't bring this kitten into my house. But we can't leave mother because he'll die. And he was like, I think he was like 6 or 7 weeks old. Oh, 6, 7. He was so little, so sickly. And so she was like, can you guys come and like take him to your house for the night or whatever? And we went, my stepdad and I drove out and he was there under her car and I picked him up and he was freaked and he jumped out of my arms and he ran maybe 15 feet and then he just collapsed on the ground because he was so weak and sickly. I mean, it was tragic. And I know you were so little and so sick. And he had feline herpes and we brought him home to our house. And at the time, I just finished my freshman year of college. And for my sophomore year, my friend Bella and I were moving into an apartment together. And we decided that my other cat, Stormy, who has made an appearance on the podcast, was going to come live with us in our apartment. Because we both had cats growing up and we're like, we want to have a pet in our apartment. And Stormy was old and she did not like my parents' dogs. So I was like, she can come live with us. So I already planned on having a cat. And I found Basil and I was like, we probably shouldn't. No, stay. We probably shouldn't have 2 cats. So when I found him, I was like, you know, we'll take him in for the night and I'll find someone who wants a cat. I'll find a friend who's getting an apartment or something and they can take him. Because I was like, we probably shouldn't have 2 cats. But oh my God, he's so cute. I just fell in love with this animal. Like, again, we have this like bond that I've always had pets and I've loved all my pets, but I've never bonded with an animal like I did with him. Like the night I brought him home, we put him in a cardboard box to sleep in, and he just bit my leg. Sorry. You're bad. As much as I love him, he's bad as hell. He climbed out of the cardboard box, which was on my bed, and he just came and he laid on my shoulder. And to this day, like, he loves to lay on my chest. That's his favorite place to lay. Stop it. No, now he's biting my toes. We're in a tumultuous time in our relationship, because he has been acting out in his 3rd year of life. We're going to get into that. But anyway, so I just fell in love with this cat, and I sent a picture of him to Bella, my roommate, and she was like, oh, so he's coming to live with us. And I was like, okay, now she's on board with it. Stop it. I'm talking about how much I love him. And then so he came and lived with us, and yeah, I just love this animal. I would die for him. I really would. I've never felt so bonded to another creature before. He's my child, but he has been recently acting out. He's always loved biting my toes and fingers. He's a foot freak, and what can I say? It runs in the family. He really, really likes my toes, and he really likes biting them, and he always has. But recently, it's been like any opportunity he gets to go after my toes, he goes for it, and it pisses me off bad because it hurts. My feet are sensitive. It hurts. And then like the other day, I'm walking around my room, like getting my shit together for work or whatever, and he's running around and following my feet and trying to bite them. And he bites my toes as I'm like stepping, and I stumble and I step on his little paw, and then he goes, "Mah!" Sorry, he just ran away because he scared me. That's the noise he made though. He got so freaked. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry I stepped on your paw, but you've been biting my toes, and that's what happens. I'm so much bigger than you. As hefty as he is, I am much larger than him in size. Like, it's not safe for him to be doing that, and yet he does it anyway. And so it's been the past couple of weeks, he's been doing it nonstop, and it's very annoying. It's very annoying, and I get really mad at him for it, and I feel bad because I love him. I would die for him, but like, stop biting my feet, dude. And then the other thing he does that annoys me is obviously you can see by the size of his belly that he likes to eat. He has an appetite, and he really loves wet cat food. That's like they get kibble and wet food, but he is crazy about the wet food. I mean, the kibble he could give or take. The wet food, that's like everything to him. I think that's what he thinks about all the time. But then once we moved here, when we first moved here, he would wake me up at like 4 a.m. for his wet food. Like, it was ridiculous. He'd wake me up so early, and it took me a long time. Like, I would try to give it to him later in the morning or whatever, but what we finally got to is that now he gets it for dinner instead of for breakfast. So they both get their wet food now at like 5 p.m. But then he started coming, and I know I shouldn't just give in to him. But the thing is that if I don't give in to him, if I don't feed him when he wants it, then all I hear all night is meow, 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 meow. And then what he does is he jumps up on my dresser and he starts knocking over my shit onto the floor until I feed him. So it's just easier for me to feed him. So now the schedule he's on is he and Stormy both get their wet food at dinner time. They both get like a quarter of a can. And then before bedtime, he gets a tiny bit more as a little snack, and that satiates his appetite. He's satisfied with that for now. But yeah, like when we moved here, there were a couple of months where I was like, I can't look at you, because I was so mad at him because he was waking me up at like 4 a.m. And look, I like to sleep. Hot take, I like to sleep, and when someone wakes me up from my sleep prematurely, oh, I'm pissed. Get him banned. Get him out of here. We don't do that shit here. I'm not the one. I'm just not. So yeah, but now that he's on the feeding schedule has been figured out and it's better, but now he's on his toe biting thing more so than ever, and it's very annoying. So again, I love that cat. I would die for him. He's my familiar. He's my animal spirit companion, whatever. But he knows how to get on my nerves, and he knows how to get under my skin. And is it crazy to say that I think he does it on purpose? Is that crazy? Because I think he does. I think he knows how bad it pisses me off. Whatever. The trials and tribulations of parenthood, I guess. That's what we're doing. So, yeah. Like, it's just sirens all the time. How old do you think I look? Do you think I look old? I'm 22 years old. I turned 23 this summer. I'm young. So I started this new job this week, like I said, and again, I like it. Everyone's really nice, but everybody has been asking me like how old I am, and then I tell them I'm 22, and the reactions, I don't love the reactions. Like they'll be like, "Hey Jackson, how old are you?" Just out of curiosity, I guess. And I'll say, "Oh, I'm 22," and they go, someone laughed. One of them laughed at me. Most of them are just like, "No, really? Are you?" And I mean, how am I supposed to take that other than being deeply offended by that? Like, that's offensive. That's not nice. And I've always looked old for my age. Like, since I was a kid, I think people always thought I was older, and like I was always really tall for my age. So that was part of it. And that's what they always say is when I'm like, "Oh, like, do I not look that?" They always say like, "Well, no, it's just because you're so tall." But I'm like, okay, it's not like I'm tall for my age anymore. I'm a grown up. I'm just a tall grown up. But like, I don't. I know you're talking about. I know my face looks older, and part of it is I think part of it is the facial hair, maybe. But even without it, I think I still look. Normally, what the guess is 25 or 26, which I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by 25 or 26. But one of them guessed 30. 30? 30? And look, it's no shade to 30-year-olds. I mean, because a lot of 30-year-olds that I know do the whole thing of like, "Oh my God, I'm so old," especially the 30-year-old gay guys. It's, "Oh my God, I'm 30, I'm so old, I can't, about 30 is young." I know 30 is young. However, it is 8 years older than I am, and I don't love that people think I'm 8 years older than I actually am. And like before I was 21, like it was kind of a good thing that I looked older because it meant I could, get alcohol without being ID'd. That's a privilege, I guess. But now that I'm above 21, I don't want to look 30. I want to look my age. I'm 22. And I think I look 22. I think I look like a 22-year-old young man. But then all these people are like, I tell them I'm 22 and they're like, "What? No, you ugly old? No, you're not 22. You can't be. You can't be. You look like you're 40. You have to have a kid, don't you?" Last year, my ex-boyfriend and I, we were in Toronto, Canada for a Kylie Minogue concert because that's what gay guys do. They drive to Toronto, Canada to see Kylie Minogue. And in Canada, the drinking age is 19. And we were getting alcohol at the concert. They don't ID me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm above 19. I was 21 at the time. I'm like, obviously I look above 19. So whatever. They ID'd my ex-boyfriend though. So I'm like, so what? You think that I'm a 30-year-old creep who's hanging out with an 18-year-old? He was older than me. Pissed me off bad. Pissed me off real bad. So, comment below. Do I look my age? Do I look old for my age? I think I look like I'm 22. I don't know. And then one of them was like, "Oh, it's because your hair is long." But when my hair is short, that ages me even more. When I have my hair cut short, I do look 30, I think. So that's part of why I keep the hair longer, is because I think it makes me look younger. Which I shouldn't be worried about looking younger because I'm 22. I'm so young. Oh, gross. But like the thing is that I'm not bothered by aging or anything. I mean, because personally, it's so common in the gay community, especially. I mean, in every community, but in gay world, like there's this idea that like when you turn 30, like you're dead. And I don't understand that one bit, because like to me, like I kind of can't wait for my 30s. Like I think maybe it's because I love Sex in the City and I love 13 going on 30, but I kind of think like my 30s are going to be lit. Like, not that my 20s aren't lit, but like when you're 30, you have a little more money, a little more stability, a little more experience, a little whatever. But it's so common that people who, and especially gay guys, will turn 30 and be like it's the end of the world. Like there was this gay guy who I matched with on one of the apps, and his profile said he was 28, which I'm not bothered by. Like, you know, I don't have anything against like guys in their 30s or late, and certainly not late 20s, but this guy said he was 28, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then we follow each other on Instagram, and his Instagram, the most recent post is a 30th birthday post. I'm like, so why are you lying about your age? First of all, for 2 years, like, and we never met or anything. So it's, if we would have met up, I would have confronted him about it and been like, so why'd you lie about your age? Because I just don't get it. I just really don't get it. I don't know. And it's not just, I mean, I know that women get a lot of shit for aging, especially. But I don't know. I mean, like, why are we so pressed about that? And I know that I probably sound like a hypocrite because I was just complaining about being perceived as older than I am. But I don't know. We all need to be comfortable with aging. I'm not in a rush to age is the thing. That's why it bothers me, because I'm young. I'm youthful. I think I look young. And hey, these it's like having kids, having these 2 cats. So I don't know. Do I look old? Do I look my age? What do you guys think? I don't know. And yeah, it really does kill me, because whenever they can tell that I'm kind of bothered by, because I don't want to be bothered by it, but when you ask how old I am, and I tell you how old I am, and your reaction is, no, you can't be. You're lying. Yeah, that does offend me. And they're always like, no, it's just because you're so tall. And I'm like that pisses me off, because I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense when I was a kid, that made sense. It doesn't make sense as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. And then part of me is like, okay, so if I'm 22 and I look like I'm 30 when I'm 22, am I going to look like I'm 40 when I'm 32? Am I going to look like I'm 50 when I'm 42? Is this what it's going to be like? I don't know. And I wish it didn't bother me so much, because I know that I'm fucking sexy. I know that I'm a good-looking, handsome, hot, sexy young man. And again, they're not saying that I'm ugly. That's not what anyone is saying, because again, 30 does not equal ugly. But that kind of feels like the implication is like, oh, you don't look youthful. You look busted and crazy. Like, that's what it feels like they're saying to me. I don't know. Does that make sense? So yeah, let me know if I am chopped and unk in the comments below. I think I'm going to wrap up. I know it's been a shorter episode than normal, but I'm by myself. I don't think I have a full hour of talking to myself in me. I'm already running out of steam. I worked this morning. So we're going to wrap up. Before we go, for our next episode, we opened an advice column. There's a Google form. I'll put the link in the description. The link is also in our Instagram bio. If you have a question, query, conundrum that you would like us to address on the pod, it could be, you know, asking us for advice, or it could be asking us a question just about ourselves or about our opinion on something, whatever it is. There's a Google form. It's anonymous. Ask away. We might answer your question on the pod. So I'll put that link in the bio or in the description. The link is in our Instagram bio already. So yeah, thank you for watching so much. Let me try that again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of The Worst Year of Our Lives, please consider liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. And also follow us on social media on TikTok and Instagram at The Worst Year Podcast. We post clips, etc. And tune in next week for a new episode of The Worst Year of Our Lives, where both co-hosts will be present, not just me. And yeah, you guys rock. I love you. I would die for you. You're my only friend in the world. The only friend I've ever had. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.